What are some street smarts everyone should know? One, situational awareness would probably be the biggest thing I'd stress to people. These days everyone's so buried in their phones, they don't pay attention. To walk with a purpose, act like you belong and you're 100 in charge of your shit. This combined with 1 will probably keep you out of trouble 99 of the time. 3, if you can. Control the situation. Your gut instincts are often right, and when they're telling you to leave, you should. Sometimes people prevent that from happening, but as a general rule I try to control the situation by leaving. I'll try again and again. I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood in Chicago, and probably the best thing you should do when walking by yourself at night is pay attention to every car. Usually they'll drive past you and scope you out. If you look like a target you'll see that car again, or they'll meet you farther down your path while you're walking past an alley. Always be ready for something when walking past an alley and stay close to the houses. That way if anything suspicious, you can run into a backyard. If there is one house that looks occupied on a mostly empty street with burnt down as a trap house, before using any ATM, tug hard on the plastic card reader. Scammers often put a fake one on top that steals your info. Utilized a retail store's big reusable bag to hide an expensive purse when walking at a sketchy section in the city. When walking in an unfamiliar trail, look back regularly. It will help you to remember landmarks that will guide you back home. Be aware of your surroundings and trust your gut. Women should not be afraid to appear rude. The book Gift of Fear has lots of great info. If you are in any sort of confrontation and someone balls their fist and looks away for a second, or even just looks away for a second, you should be prepared for the possibility of a sucker punch. Street smarts to give your kids if you get lost. Find the closest adult with kids. I saw this in action once at Disneyland when a 4-year-old kid approached me and my kiddos while we were eating. She joined us very calmly, introduced herself, and said her parents gave her the above advice. I heard her parents shouting her name not long after, and the relief on their faces was a sight. Never do drugs in situations you don't know about. Could be someone spikes it, takes advantage by robbing, rape, kidnapping, whatever it is. Always be paying word. Edit to everyone's talking about the drugging, which is good awareness, and it's sad to hear so many stories. I just wanted to emphasize the always be paying attention part too. Don't let anything take your attention away when you're in a new potentially dangerous situation. I should have elaborated more on that too. Every answer on the street, in a not so nice area, is no. Hey, can I have a cigarette? No. Hey, you got the time? No. Hey, can I borrow your phone to make a call? No. X2OB. Stick up men want to see your hands. If they can see your hands, they know you don't have a weapon and will be easier to rob. Always know where the exits are in any place that you enter so that you don't get lost in an emergency. Also, never place yourself in a hole in public where there is only one entrance and exit and no other people around. These are often crime hotspots. Always ask for only one scoop of ice cream first because they make single scoops bigger. Then act like you changed your mind and ask for a second scoop. They will be pressured to match the size of the first scoop, providing you with a massive amount of ice cream. Here are a few of street smarts that makes it harder for pickpockets to steal your stuff. Do not keep your wallet in the back pocket of your jeans. This is a super easy place for pickpocket to take it from. When in crowded touristy areas, it sometimes is better to wear your backpacks or purses to the front of your body. If you sit down in a restaurant, keep your backpack in front of your feet. Be especially aware of your belongings, and there is a bit of pushing, like when entering a subway or metro wagon. Be alert in situations where a potential group of thieves try to distract you, for example, by asking you for directions on a map. While you are distracted by showing the person the directions, another thief will open your bags and take your stuff without noticing. Edit another thing to look out are people in European cities asking for cash donations for the blind, deaf, or handicapped. The huge majority of them are not for real charities, but just to get some money from me and more importantly for an accomplice to see where you store your wallet. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the feedback. This post was not meant to bash European cities. They are still beautiful to visit, and if you stay at least somewhat vigilant, the chances of becoming a target for those thieves are very low. They prefer easy, low-risk targets. Where you're unfamiliar with for any length of time, it's a good idea to try to always make sure that someone knows roughly where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing on a given day. Even if you're like me and you don't like to plan out a full itinerary, A rough indication of what your plans might be can help work out your movements if ever there is an issue. You might be correct when you have the right of way, but you're still the one that's going to be dead when you get whacked by the car if you're walking or on your bike. This reminds me of a comedian who was saying the best way to stay safe in a rough neighborhood is to fake a Russian accent because Russians are terrifying. From experience point 1, if you're alone on the street and you think you're being followed, immediately call someone, forget about conversation starters, and give away your location. You should add, "I think I'm being followed." Speak loudly enough so the person you think is following you hears you doing it. If you're right and they were following you, that will be a big turn-off. If you're wrong, you have nothing to lose. 2. It might sound harsh, but if anyone approaches you and asks to use your phone for anything especially emergency related, don't fall for it. They will usually tell you what the emergency is, so walk away. Tell them you don't have a phone, whatever. And for your inner peace, call the emergency and give away that person's location. Tell them exactly what the person told you. Either they really needed help and you're sending it their way, or they tried to trick you into something horrible and will most likely try it again with the next passerby. 3. Whenever you are, plan ahead and blend in with the crowd. I mean, don't dress all fancy in the hood kind of thing. 4. Please, for the love of God, stop using your earphones while on the street. At least try to only have one earbud in, if you can't help it. It's not healthy ear fatigue, potential risks to your hearing, etc., but at least it won't completely cover the background noises. Edit: I wouldn't imagine this would explode. I just wanted to be helpful. Thank you for the awards and replies. I love to read everyone's experiences. Please stay safe. If you're walking and someone approaches, don't break stride. You can carry on a conversation while walking, but people who are looking to proselytize, sell you something, or mug you will want you to slow or stop to address them. If they want to chat, make them keep up with you. You can even tell them that you're in a rush but would love to talk and walk. They'll likely find someone more stationary, because if you can make a person slow, you can make them stop. If you can make them stop, you've already adjusted their priorities and placed yourself. A subtle power game. Keep going where you're going, and you retain your power. Stop and cat, and you've given it up and opened yourself to possible problems. Shut your fucking mouth. It doesn't matter how angry you are or what they said to you. Shut your fucking mouth and walk away. Bruised ego is better than shot dead. Be aware of surroundings. Look like you belong either through body language, attire, or occupation without being oblivious to things around you. The moment you look lost, out of place, or unsure is the moment you can look like a good target. If someone is looking at you with an expression questioning why you are there, be prepared to answer it with confidence and give an answer they would accept, or be prepared to leave before they can ask. If you're ever locked out and some of the guys are playing cards and you happen to see a card fell into one of their laps, don't try and be helpful and point out that they dropped a card. Walk around your car before you get into your head up and be alert, or at least look. Turn off your car and take the keys with you when you stop at a store or gas station. Never flash your whole wad of cash in a public place while paying for something. Keep a few bucks loose in one pocket for spending. Keep the majority of your cash in a separate pocket. Don't open a wallet full of all your money where other people can see you. If you are walking alone at night and you feel like you're being watched, followed, start talking to yourself loudly about crazy shit. Make it a conversation even. Oh my god, did you see her dress? That dress was so crazy long. Like, how could she walk? Let alone walk in that grocery store. And those cheap plastic shoes. I own those cheap plastic shoes. Are you saying I'm cheap? If the cheap plastic shoe fits, honey, I'll admit to doing this. I used to work graveyard shifts and you gotta be aware. Most people, no matter how bad, try to avoid crazy. Crazy will hurt you back. Edit to it: the only place this technique didn't work was when I worked in Vegas, cause crazy there is way crazier than I'll ever act. Look, if somebody asks you your name, have a fake generic name and use it all the time. Mike, Dave, and John will do. Don't tell even close friends the amount of money you have on you. I was set up by an 18-year-old female coworker this week. She seemed like a sweetheart and was giving me rides to work for a few days. I asked on the Monday if we could go to bank as I needed to cash a check for roughly $4,500. Minutes after dropping me near house, I was robbed at gunpoint of everything by two guys. They knew how much they were looking for. The robber said he watched me leave bank, but the police saw on camera near home that they had been waiting for me for an hour. One of the robbers was her ex-current boyfriend, it turns out. Only break one law out of solicitation of prostitution and illegal drug use. They're the TBJ of crimes. In my fraternity I used to defuse a lot of fights. I'm a thin guy, 150 pounds 6, so my size isn't really an advantage. I found one of the best ways to defuse an angry drunk that you don't know is to ask them their name. Give them your name and bring them in for a handshake, hug, dap, whatever. Our friends, and the drunk is confused why someone is being friendly to them, and likely used all of his mental facility to process that and has now forgotten why they were so mad in the first place. This buys time for someone stronger to come as backup, or the potential victim to work many times for me. If you feel uncomfortable in a metro underground car, slip out as the doors are closing. For bonus security, travel back 1 to 3 stops, then resume your journey. Having been mugged once, I'm gonna make him work for it if there is a next time. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of safe. If you are forced to walk through a bad, dangerous neighborhood, keep your chin up and maintain a confident and comfortable look on your face. Nothing screams abuse me more than an out-of-place person waking around with their chin down, looking at the sidewalk. I learned this after visiting a new girlfriend many years ago, a bad section of Philly. I was walking down the street towards her house and a local female walking by me said, "Keep that chin up around here, white boy." The more I considered that advice, the more logical it sounded. Everyone respects true crazy. I once was approached in downtown by a man asking for all my money. I looked him square in the eyes and blurted out something like blah blah blah. He walked away and I kept my thank you for the award. I hope this comment can help at least one person. P.S. My first silver. If a stranger talks to you in public, and it's not immediately clear why they're talking to you, ignore them. Just keep minding your own business, don't look at them, and don't say a word. Most tussles start as just a friendly chat. Do not unlock your car when halfway across the parking lot from it. Unlock it once you're close enough to see if anyone tries to get into it. If you're having trouble finding your car, you can hit the lock button to get it to chirp while unlocking it. If you are in an area where there are storefronts, use the reflection in their window glass to see behind you as you walk. There may be people on the street that you pass, but if they make a sudden move on you, you can react. Eye contact. A lone assailant will often use the element of surprise to their advantage. If you're walking alone and someone is following you, make eye contact to let them know that you are aware of them. This will often dissuade them from attacking. This tactic has worked for me in the past. When walking on the sidewalk, if you think a car is following you, simply switch direction, turn around and walk the other way. It's harder for a car to change direction quickly. They will either have to stop and reverse, or suddenly U-turn, which will give you time to run or change direction again. Never get in a stranger's car and never give them the chance to grab you. Don't fuck with that dude with cauliflower ears. He can take more and harder hits than you. Those stickers off your car identifying you as a female. Girls just wanna have fun. It makes you a target. If you live in an urban area with high transient population, regularly check lock gates and rare use access points. Look for things like small pieces of tape on locks. You are being targeted and tested for access to your home that you do not regularly to wallets. One is a honeypot you hand over if getting robbed. The other is your real wallet. Pro tip: put a little cash and expired credit cards in the honeypot. This will help it look more real. Anyone who wants to talk to you for any reason in any major city is trying to get money. And know their pregnant, cancer-riddled wife's broken down cart does not just need $5 of gas cash, only PLZ. If you put your finger on a mirror and there is no space between your finger and its reflection, you are looking at a two-way mirror. This once helped me in the dressing room of a shady clothing store that sold dancer clothes when I was only 15-16. My friend and I thought it'd be funny to go in and try things on. After checking the mirror, we left immediately. For the ladies in particular, had the taxi Uber driver drop you off a block or so from your house. Wait till they drive away to walk up. Don't expect other people to save you. Make sure you take precautions and don't just wait around if you need something done. Have things in your car that will help you in a dire situation. Know how to change your own tire. Even someone will do it for you. But if we have learned anything in 2020 is that you might just be alone when shit hits the fan and you have to start trying things to get out of a tough situation. If you visit China, the tea house scam. Victim to this while visiting Shanghai by myself is a 19-year-old. but I think they gauge who you are and how much they think they can squeeze out of you, and for me it ended up being around $100. It's probably a bit more widely known at this point, but it was early to mid-2000s and social media wasn't yet what it is now. I got to warn some friends about it a few years later and they came back and thanked me for the heads up. Eating something when you're walking in a sketchy area. It shows you're comfortable where you are, confident as if you aren't concerned about the area you're in, that you're able to enjoy that banana or candy bar. Just don't be eating pistachios. We all know that snack is way too bougie and will get you robbed. If you stay in a hotel in an unfamiliar place, take a business card from the reception desk and put it in your wallet. This way you always have the address if you are lost or the taxis don't speak your language. Don't break two laws at once. If you have a dead body in your car, you probably shouldn't go above the speed limit or run a stop sign. You get pulled over because you're driving and then bam, you get charged with manslaughter too. Have a bitch face. The don't talk to me. Don't even dare walk up to me face if you are a woman. If some creep tries to talk to you, give the WTF. Why are you even talking to me look? This is rather cold-hearted, but to believe any sob stories. In my city there is a woman telling she is collecting money for her sick child. All the women's and homeless shelters know she is just a scam artist and she is trying to take any money from anyone who believes her. Edit: oh my god, thank you kind stranger for giving me platinum. I feeling sad and anxious. Went on Reddit to distract myself. Carry a fork with you. If someone approaches you, say, Lord, thank you for this meal I'm about to have, and charge at them with the fork. Having good manners and speaking with respect will keep you from getting in trouble you didn't know was. Holy shit, did this blow up? I do appreciate all the awards from everyone. Raising my karma by 50. Truly. Form the response. It seems like those that have been in sketchy areas truly understand the importance of manners. It is nice to know there are some good people out there. My hat off to all of you. I wish you all the best. For all of those that do not understand, it is about respect. Not only of the person you are speaking to but of yourself. I hope you'll understand one day. When in New York City, odd-numbered streets go west and even-numbered streets go east. Additionally, odd-numbered buildings are on the north side of the street and even-numbered addresses are on the south. This one is specific to San Francisco or other hilly cities. Park at the top of the hill. Why? Because criminals don't want to climb up it to break into your car, and there are plenty of perfectly good cars to rob at the bottom of the hill. Petty crimes are about convenience and opportunity, or, as someone once put it, crime is lazy. A real: you are walking through a place you're not sure is safe. Do not make fucking eye contact with anyone. In some places, this will be enough to get you noticed and fucked with. Just act like you belong there and don't look at anyone, even for a second. Even in the way you might accidentally lock eyes with a stranger, don't do it. Most people don't actually enjoy fighting. From overzealous cops to muggers to perverts, these people may get a sadistic pleasure from causing harm on other people. A very few of them will enjoy getting punched in the teeth. Edit: the ones that don't care or enjoy getting hit are the genuinely scary ones, and I say that as a man. Career corrections officer for 13 years, I've been around some shit. If you're being followed by a creeper, get somewhere public with people that to see you. Go up to someone or a group of people and say you're being followed and need the police. Safety in numbers. Draw attention to the creeper. Do not worry about if you might be rude or a bitch. Be alive and safe instead. If an authority is nearby, find them and let them know and report. Just call an Uber and get out of there. Just because you can't see them anymore doesn't mean they went away. If you're being followed and it's more residential, start pounding on doors. Please help me. I'm being followed and I need the police is the first thing out of your mouth. Do not be shy. Call the fucker out. Yell at him. Scream that you're being followed and the description. Never second guess your instincts. We can easily talk ourselves into a bad situation by convincing ourselves the situation isn't bad. If you're wrong and look like an overreacting ass, then you're still alive to be embarrassed, and that's significantly better than the alternative. Read this tip from a post about a guy who travels to war-torn places as a journalist. Have a pack of smokes in your car or on your person in sketchy areas. Offering a smoke can really defuse a situation. There's me, nodding sagely to all the tips, and then proceeding to get all my shit stolen like Homer Simpson on his first trip to New York. Every single car has this really neat feature where you can activate these lights on the back of your car to signal to other drivers if you're about to make a turn. It's really handy. Watch the people you think are your closest friends. You never know who someone is until the pressure is truly applied. I know this is a basic one, but it hurts so much more getting screwed over by someone you thought was a brother than when a stranger does something terrible to you. 1. Don't pick up random drugs and alcohol even if they look untouched off the street, even if it's marijuana. 2. Most street drugs, besides marijuana, but there's also K2 spice that mimics it, are cut with other products to increase profit. People who sell heroin, meth, cocaine, etc. most likely do not have a pure drug for you. It's hard and expensive on the dealer's side to get cocaine. Ask if your dealer says they have pure cocaine. They don't. The chances of getting pure drugs is incredibly low. In the US, use drug testing kits if you're unsure about its purity. I don't want to promote hard drug use, but I know people will still take them. Just be safe and have someone around you if something happens. 3. As much as people think this is only a woman thing, guys should also pay attention at the bar with their drinks. One roofie can end up with you rape, and it could be one of your homeboys who got you a drink. Seriously, a friend had this happen to him, and he was left on the side of the road naked, raped, and with his car still at the bar. Plus, women can most definitely take advantage of you and sexually assault you or steal your stuff. Or, they can let their boyfriend steal your stuff and beat the shit out of you. 4. Gangs aren't funny. They're real. If you never grew up in the hood, please don't try and learn gang signs, appropriate gang tattoos, or use slang that could be gang-related. Wrong neighborhood, wrong people around you, you can get murdered, or worse. If you're white or white passing, don't even look like you're in a gang wearing all red or all blue with a bandana hanging from your back pocket, because someone will think you're repping some shit that you're really not. And don't hang around people who are involved in gangs. 5. Always be aware of your surroundings. I know it's been said like 100x on this thread, but it's incredibly important. I'm a salesperson and I know how to size people up in about 10 seconds or less. Nice hair, nice jeans, nice watch, you might have some money. 6. For women, don't smile while walking down the street. Keep your head high. Walk like you have a purpose, and try not to wear designer purses. Stop wearing slides in public because you will have to throw them off to run. Look like you're prepared to take someone down if they try. Which leads me to my next point. 7. Lift weights. Doesn't have to be heavy. Get your arms toned. Do a few push-ups and burpees. Make yourself look strong and as if you will put up a fight if touched. 8. If you use pepper spray on someone, call the police ASAP. The other person can have respiratory problems and, if they pass out, die. You're in legal trouble over their medical state, even if it was in self-defense. 9. Don't join an MLM. Don't entertain anybody who is from an MLM. They're predatory, and they exist to take your money. 10. If you're a pedestrian, wait about 5 seconds after the light turns red to cross the street. Cars like to run red lights, and it'll give you more confidence knowing that it'll be safe crossing without getting hit. 11. Lock your doors. Get a deadbolt enforcement mechanism and a door jammer when you sleep at night. It's a fantastic investment. Plus, if you need a weapon for an intruder, the door jammer acts as a metal rod to hit them with .12. For parents, keep an eye on your children when you are in public places. If there is a place where children are not allowed, please do not bring them and try to argue with the staff why they're not allowed. I used to work at a gym with a strict policy of no kids allowed, even if they sat in the front of the gym while the parent works out. I remember even having an email being sent to my boss because one woman thought I was targeting her because she always brought her underage daughter in and would always tell her to leave. The workers at these places see way more sketchy behavior at their jobs during an 8-12-hour shift than visitors. Plus, the workers aren't your babysitters. It literally takes a second for your kid to leave with a stranger, and there's no way for the staff to know if it's actually a relative or a predator. Please watch your kids. 13. Smart watches are nice, but try not to wear them at night. Let your phone track your steps or fitness progress. I've seen some really flashy watches and we all wearing headphones. 2. Absolutely perfect situation to snatch your shit. 14. If you carry a bag around you, set up your self-defense items from least to most damaging. Outside of your bag, pepper spray on the side pocket knife, get a serrated knife, BTW in your inside pocket, keep a rock in your main compartment, and if you have a gun, keep that tucked away. 15. Keep quarters on you at all times. You don't know when you'll need them. I made a few edits because of my errors from typing fast.